The power of compassion. How loving without conditions heals our deepest wounds. What if I told you that the greatest force for healing your anger, your pain, even your fear, isn't power or control? It's compassion. Not sympathy, not guilt, not even forgiveness, though that comes later, but true compassion. That quiet, radiant strength that looks at pain and says, I see you, and I still choose love. We live in a world that's often reactive, impatient, easily offended. And when we are hurt, the most natural instinct is to strike back or shut down. But what if there's another way? Today, let's take a slow, honest look at what compassion really is, why it's more powerful than we think, and how it might be the missing piece to healing not just anger, but the deepest parts of ourselves. In Buddhism, compassion is more than a moral virtue. It's a transformative power, a path of awakening. The word for compassion in Pali is karu. It means a quivering of the heart, a natural, instinctive response to suffering. It's not pity. It's not fixing. It's not about feeling superior or responsible. It's about being with suffering, fully, gently, without turning away. And here's something profound. In Buddhist teaching, compassion isn't limited to others. It includes you, too. Yes, you. With your flaws, regrets, and broken places. Because compassion isn't about who deserves it. It's about recognizing that we all suffer. And in that shared humanity, we are already connected. Now, let's talk about anger. Anger often masks pain. It shows up when we feel disrespected, dismissed, or disconnected. And while it's natural, when left unchecked, anger becomes a wall. It isolates us from others and from ourselves. Here's the thing most people never realize. Anger is afraid. Afraid of being weak. Afraid of being hurt again. Afraid of not mattering. And compassion. Compassion looks that fear in the eye and says, you're safe with me. It melts the armor. It softens the edges. Not because we pretend everything's okay, but because we remember. Even the one who hurt us is hurting too. I remember once standing in a long grocery line. Everyone was tired. It was late. A man cut in front of me. No apology, no eye contact. I felt the heat rise instantly. Anger, judgment, that voice in my head. Who does he think he is? But then something made me pause. I looked closer. He wasn't smug. He looked exhausted, like someone who had just received bad news. I didn't say anything, but I didn't need to, because in that small shift, from reacting to seeing, something softened in me. That's the power of compassion. It doesn't require an explanation. It simply says, maybe there's more to this moment than I understand. We often think compassion is this grand, saintly thing, but really, it lives in the smallest moments. A deep breath instead of a harsh word. A listening ear instead of a judgment. An act of patience when someone else is unraveling. And here's something beautiful. The more you practice compassion outwardly, the more it begins to grow inwardly. Because here's the secret. Most of us aren't cruel to others, but we are merciless to ourselves. That inner critic, the voice that says you're not enough, the way we replay every mistake, every failure, we speak to ourselves in ways we would never speak to a friend. Self-compassion means turning toward your own pain, not to wallow, but to witness. To say, yes, I'm messed up, but I am learning. Yes, I'm hurting, but I am still whole. Yes, I reacted, but I am human, and I can try again. This isn't about making excuses. It's about breaking the cycle of shame that fuels anger. Because when we hold ourselves with compassion, we don't need to defend or attack. We can take responsibility without self-hatred. We can grow without fear. Here's a powerful thought. Compassion is not the opposite of strength. It is strength. It takes strength to be kind in the face of cruelty. To stay open when it's easier to shut down. To forgive, not because someone earned it, but because you refuse to carry the poison. We often say, hurt people hurt people. But healed people, they heal others. And the bridge between those two states is compassion. In Buddhist thought, compassion isn't just a feeling. It's a practice. We cultivate it the way we train a muscle. By choosing again and again to stay present with pain. By wishing freedom from suffering for all beings. starting with the ones hardest to love. And over time, something shifts. We begin to see differently. Not just people's behavior, but their humanity. The loud man at work? He's overwhelmed. The cold partner? She's scared to be vulnerable. Even the one who wronged you deeply was probably carrying pain they never learned to process. This isn't about justifying harm. It's about seeing clearly. Compassion clears the fog of hatred. And in that clarity, healing begins. Take a moment and ask yourself, when was the last time you felt truly seen? Who in your life could use a little more grace? What would it look like to offer that grace to yourself? These aren't easy questions, but they matter, because every act of compassion creates a ripple, one that touches lives in ways you may never fully see. You don't have to change the world in one day. You don't have to be perfect to be kind. You just have to begin, with one breath, one choice, one moment. Compassion isn't something you wait to feel. It's something you practice into being. And every time you choose it, even when it's hard, you're rewriting the story of this world. From one of division, to one of healing. From one of fear, to one of deep, enduring love.